Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Commander Training. My name is Scoundrel and in this video we'll be going through everything that you need to know about the Nod Commander Jade. Now this video is brought to you by Game Changers from EA, and EA have sponsored this video, so thank you very much to them. Jade Liang is, as you might have guessed, the sister to Dr. Liang from the GDI commanders. Both of them used to be researchers in a GDI facility where they were exposed to raw Tiberium. Dr. Liang chose to amputate his own arm and continued to work with GDI. Jade, however, disappeared. When she resurfaced as a Nod Commando, she had completely embraced the mutations that happened because of the Tiberium. Now, Jade's special ability is a Tiberium missile. It deals medium damage to a single target. It is very good in these situations about if taking out a target that is countering your current troops, and when used in isolation can be used for a pinpoint strike on an area that you want to control. So it is useful versus single targets, and it will significantly weaken some of the beefier targets, although will not take them out completely. However, this doesn't really unlock the full destructive potential of this ability. This ability is very volatile, and I don't mean that as a pun. It is one of the abilities that can make or break a game if you're in a tough situation, but it does require that you have the right units to work with. Chem Troopers or Chem Warriors and the Chem Buggy spread Tiberium Clouds. These Tiberium Clouds cause a chain reaction with Jade's missile to cause massive damage across the battlefield. That chain reaction damage will apply to the multiple tiles, so it will be multiplicative, and that means it will destroy some of the beefier units if used correctly. Now, you have to remember that explosion radius will also damage your own troops. However, in certain scenarios, this will be okay, and I'm going to talk to you about it in this particular example here. The Chem Troopers themselves act like a Tiberium Cloud tile, which means if you spread that gas across multiple tiles and defend with it, you can then use the Chem Troopers as the activation point and it will cause huge damage. Not enough to take out that mammoth tank as you saw, but significantly weaken it, and it will deal damage across the entire battlefield while sacrificing only your chemical troopers. Just by having Chemical Warriors and Jade on the same field, you force your opponent to be very careful about their positioning. In this particular example, you can see the Chem Warriors battling a mammoth tank, neither of them doing significant damage to each other. Look at the two Kodiaks that come round to the side. They cannot be targeted by the Chem Warriors, but the multiplicative damage from both the Chemical Warrior cloud and the cloud that it creates next to it on the Mammoth tank are enough to blow them up. And if you remember the earlier example we saw, it was not enough. A single missile was not enough to kill a Kodiak by itself. And this is more advanced here, but in this situation, you can actually sacrifice your units and also just find good positioning to create a massive amount of Tiberium Clouds in the field. That multiplicative damage even takes down the Mammoth tank in one go. That is a huge explosion just from some well-placed clouds. So, see what you can do. Make sure you can spread those clouds as close as possible because it is a chain reaction and deals insane damage. Not only that though, you don't need Chemical Warriors or Chem Buggies to make the missiles effective. If your harvester is harvesting on a Tiberium patch, you can use that Tiberium patch as bait and deal the explosion radius damage around it. However, you don't need to have a harvester on a Tiberium field or a Tiberium tile to make Jade's ability work. In fact, if you just target a Tiberium tile, whilst it might not deal damage to anything on top of it, unless the enemy harvester is there, it will deal damage in a radius around that Tiberium tile. So Tiberium tiles themselves count as Tiberium gas clouds, and they can be used to cause a small chain reaction or even trigger a chain reaction to the glass clouds from your own troopers. So obviously, the units that best work with Jade are going to be things like the Chem Buggy and the Chemical Warriors. We covered that why. They allow her to create massive chain reactions, and often decks can be built around this interaction between the Chemical Warriors and Jade and the Chemical Buggy and Jade. I hope this has been enough to help you get an understanding of Jade and some of her complexities. She is one of the more difficult commanders to use. I hope you guys go out there and win some games.